Hello, everyone. I want to take a moment.
God, today is like any other. However, today, we gather to celebrate the accomplishments of these men. We thank you for their success. We thank you for granting them focus, direction. You create the knowledge and understanding that they have mastered. All these good things come from you. For that, we thank you. Thank you for delivering everyone safely. Have a safe journey home. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. Amen. We will have the welcome from our program director, Rayshawn Wilson.
Good evening. My name is Rayshawn Wilson. I have the pleasure of serving as the director of our African American Male and Supportive Services program at the Columbus Urban League. It is such a good pleasure to see everyone here tonight as we celebrate the accomplishments of these individuals who have accomplished so much over the past 10 weeks. We also want to pause and give the families of these individuals congratulate them on sticking by these men as they have gone through 10 weeks. They've been dedicated. They've been here every week. They've done everything that we've asked them to do. So let's give the families and all the support individuals a round of applause tonight as well. At this time, I would like to bring up our Vice President, Ms. Toni Cunningham, to give some of our remarks and introduce our speaker for the night.
Thank you, Rayshawn. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Let me get the energy level up in the room because this is an exciting evening. This is our first graduation of 2015. And we're so excited. And man, what a journey. And I'm always so excited about this event because I'm so proud of these young men who have persevered, who have gone through what we've asked them to do for 10 weeks. That's a huge commitment to come every week for 10 weeks and do what's asked of you. There was one class I went and spoke to that was father to father, and I explained to them that as a daddyless daughter, because my father was not in my life the way he should have been and could have been, that I appreciated that they were coming and trying to figure this thing out. You know what I mean? Because if you aren't born, parents don't have a manual, right? And for whatever reason, he couldn't figure it out. My dad didn't try or whatever. But at the end of the day, I see men coming to father and father who are trying to figure it out. I appreciate the men going through Choose to Change because the majority of the men in my mother's side of the family have been incarcerated and were cycled in and out the system through most of their adult life. And I don't ever remember any of them having a program like Choose to Change to actually go to that maybe could have helped them navigate some of the barriers they were experiencing and to get over some of those difficult humps. So I just am really excited about this event because it hits really close to home for me. So we were supposed to have some special remarks from our video from Senator Sherrod Brown. For those of you that don't know, he's a United States Senator, and he sent wonderful video remarks. We're having technical difficulty. I do see his representative here this evening. Thank you, Chad. Wait, Chad. So, men, you do have the U.S. Congress represented in the room tonight. Thank you very much. And unfortunately, we won't be able to play the video, but we will make sure that it is on our website so that the graduates, you can go to the website and see the special message that a U.S. Senator who knows about this program and understands the importance of what we're trying to achieve wanted to take the time out to film a special message for you. And so I'm so upset we can't show it, but we will have it on our website and we will be running it on our YouTube channel. So now to get to the reason I'm actually actually up here. First, let me say, I do bring you greetings from our president and CEO, Ms. Stephanie Hightower. She couldn't be here tonight. She is traveling. I'm probably supposed to keep this mum, but we might have a chance to host the National Urban League Conference in 2018. So she's got to fly to New York and make some huge presentation about why Columbus, Ohio is the best city to have the National Urban League Conference. Best city. So we'll see how that shakes out. And if so, you'll see us running around like crazy people for 2.5 years to host a national conference that brings in over 30,000 individuals to our city. With that said, she did send her greetings. She is very proud of this program, which is one of our hallmark pieces in our organization as we seek to stabilize families, transform lives, and empower the community. So I have the awesome privilege of introducing a young man tonight as our speaker. Y'all can see we get right to the point. No solos, no choir, nothing. Let's get to why we're here. And this young man that I'm going to introduce, I'm not going to read his full bio, it's on the back of your program, but Shannon Harden, council member Shannon Harden now, I have watched him throughout this community grow his presence, grow his impact, and really as a young professional, move to do some, monumental things in our community. And I'm so proud of the trajectory of his career. He was appointed to city council, late 2014? He is now in the office, so he worked for City Hall for years and years and years, and now he becomes their boss. Ain't that something? You work within the city, and all of a sudden now you're their bosses. Young man, energetic, done a lot for the community. I will say that when it comes to our programming, Shannon has been integral in our ACTS program, making sure that our neighborhood violence intervention program stays funded and we're able to be out in the community doing intervention work and anti-violence work. He's been supportive of our African American Male Initiative, not just through city council, but personally, making sure that he's involved, making sure that we have what we need, supporting our signature events. He's just been amazing. Dealing with our restored citizens, and I don't know how many of you have heard of Restoration Academy. That is an initiative of the mayor's office, but making sure that there's an academy where people who are formerly incarcerated have an opportunity to grow their professionalism, and sometimes it translates into a job in the city of Columbus. So that means actually putting your money where your mouth is and creating those opportunities that you say you want everybody else to create under the leadership of our fabulous mayor, Mayor Michael B. Coleman. I will tell you though that he has accomplished in his own right. When you'll see in his bio, he has graduated, of course, from, was it Morehouse, sir? He's a Morehouse man and been very active politically in the community, and now is actually serving our city as one of its leaders on Columbus City Council. So without further ado, I want to bring up to you and introduce to those who have not met him, Mr. Shannon Harden.
Good evening. So I'm still new enough to this whole gig of being a council member that anytime I go somewhere and they have my picture on stuff, I'm like, I can't wait to take this home to my mom. It really is an honor and a pleasure to be here this evening. Like Ms. Tony said, my name is Shannon Harden. I had the great pleasure and honor to be appointed to Columbus City Council in October of 2014. Before that, I worked for Mayor Coleman for several years and had the opportunity to work with a lot of the folks there in this room. And so to come back tonight as a council member and really to applaud the work that the men in this room have done over the last couple months is really awesome. I want to thank Ms. Tony for her leadership. She's been a great friend to me personally, but a great person leading the initiatives here at the Columbus Urban League. Mr. Rayshawn Wilson is doing a fabulous job leading this program. Ms. Stephanie Hightower in her absence. When I got the invitation to speak, I was really thrilled. My brother Stephon Dunn Mr. Mark and everybody, Mr. Jolie, who have put in the hard work and worked with all the men here tonight. Like I said, when I received the invitation to speak this evening and have the opportunity to talk to many of you, I was really excited. In my last role as the External Affairs Coordinator for the Mayor, I've been to several graduations here. But this one is different for me. I'm a council member now, which brings a whole different level to it. Usually they would invite me, but I would sit all the way in the back. But now I'm up here now. But secondly, now I am also a father. 15 months ago, I lost my sister after giving birth to my nephew. And as a family, we had to decide what was the best thing to do to take care of my nephew, Christian. He is wild, he's crazy. He's right now with my mom, climbing over our couches and jumping on things. But it was something, I mean, as a 26-year-old, when my sister passed, that we had to take the time to decide what was best and for our family. But it wasn't a hard decision because that's what families do. You step up, and it has been the greatest honor of my life to play that role for Christian. And I think that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight, because I think this is what this program is about. I think this is what this evening is about families. And I believe, unfortunately, that the family structure is under attack. We are seeing that more and more of our families are becoming single-parent households, and we know that we can do better. I know that when children are born into families absent of two loving parents, that it is a detriment to the child and to the community. Last week in the Columbus Dispatch, Bill Kristol, a conservative columnist, wrote an article arguing that the country would be better off today if we had taken the advice given in a study or this report written in 1965 called the Moynihan Report. And I was immediately skeptical because I know Bill Kristol as a conservative writer, and I'm like, what is this thing talking about? But I looked up the report, and it was authored by then Labor Secretary Daniel Patrick Moynihan, who later became a Democratic Senator from New York. And the report focused on the cause and effect of black poverty in America, essentially arguing that the lack of the nuclear family, and that's a family having both a mother and a father in the household, would lead to economic and political degradation of the black community. And the report makes the recommendations on social and economic development programs to right this growing issue. And this was back in 1965. But the crux of the issue, the crux of the report was still that the black family unit was under attack. The Moynihan Report was and still is a very controversial report. A lot of folks within our community and without thought that that the report was blaming the victim, that they were saying that it was our fault as black folks that that the structure was being broken apart. And you know, I've not studied enough to come up with to give a full opinion on the report or the findings or the recommendations. But what we do know today is that 71% of African American children are born to unwed parents, to unwed mothers. Another 38% of children are born to teen parents. And as proud as we are of single mothers who are holding down our families, I'm a product of a single mother, we know that we are capable of doing better and that our women and our children deserve better. And each man in this room is leading his family. Each of you have the grace of God to support you, and each of you has been through what could be called some of the toughest parts of your lives. Some have come through single-parent households yourself. Some are formerly incarcerated. Some have come out of the shadows of drug and alcohol addiction. But God has got you through those trials and tribulations. And if He can bring us through those trials and tribulations, He's given you the strength to be the leaders in our families that we need. You have children and you have loved ones who, despite everything, still love you and still look up to you and need your leadership. Our sons and our daughters look to fathers to provide stability. Sons in particular look to their fathers to see how they should act and how they should behave. Our sons need us to be successful. Our sons need us to see us behaving graciously. Our sons need us to see us choose the hard way because it's the right way and prove ultimately that it pays off. Our sons need to see the value of hard work, and they need to be taught through their fathers. And we've heard this adage before. We have to be twice as good to get half as much. And that is true. That means that we have to be willing to put in the hard work, that there are no shortcuts for us, that as black men, we don't get the pass in the world that others do. It's not fair, it's not right, but sometimes it's our reality. When our boys enter the classroom, in many cases, less is expected from them, so less is given to them. When our young men enter the workforce, less is expected from them, so less is given to them. Again, it's sad but unfortunate. So I'm applauding the fathers in this room for making the choice, for making a big and bold choice to be a father, to be present, to stand up and to lead your families, for making the choice to be involved in your child's life. And the thing is, and I think that this is why it's so important for government to be involved in this conversation, is that when the family does well, the community does well. And that's what's so important. That's why I'm so proud of this program, so proud of you guys for stepping up, because I know how hard it is. Earlier in the speech, I mentioned the statistics that we all know about single parents and about folks growing up without in a single parent household. But what I'm most proud of is that you guys have chosen to be fathers. There's this commercial that I recently saw, and it actually highlighted the reverse of this, the more positive numbers that are out there. And it reminded me that you guys have chosen to be the fathers of the 11, 12 black boys who will not drop out of school. You've chosen to be the fathers of the 3 out of 4 of children who don't do drugs. You've chosen to be the fathers to the 5 out of 9 children, young folks with a job. You have chosen to be the father to the 7 out of 8 children who are not teenage parents. And we all have choices to make in life, and I think that each father in this room can attest that we've made good decisions and we've made bad decisions. I think each father in this room should use those decisions, both good and bad, to teach their children. I learned as much from my mom and my dad from their good decisions as from their bad ones. Remember, just being there, just by being there, each of you have chosen to be a father. That this is the most important choice that you can make in your life. We are all capable of leadership in one way or another, and I believe that leadership is required of all of us. And that's why I'm so proud to be here, because all of the men in this room have made that choice. So whether your future is big in public or small in private, the simple truth is that each of us is called to greatness in our own way. Just as each of us is sent to transform a corner of the world that we can touch, that we alone can touch, this whole world is not exactly ours to change, but working together we can change it. But we look to God to help us make those changes. And I believe that God accomplishes those changes in our communities by the work that he does through each and one of us. And that's each step by step, bit by bit, piece by piece, using our hands and our hearts to remake this city. The simple fact is that every man here has chosen to touch that little corner of the world that only he can touch. I suspect God intends your corner of the world to include your children, your families, and our community. And we will all be the richer for that. And you're not alone. And that's why, that's again why I'm happy to be here, because the city invests in this program and invests in you, but we invested in the programs that Ms. Tony talked about. The Restoration Academy, to give a second chance to folks who are formerly incarcerated. The saying, there by the grace of God goes I, is something when I look out at the Restoration Academy graduation. These folks are the most thirsty folks to go out there and do well and do good in the community. And the least that we can do as a city is to support them. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you. I'm so proud of the work that you guys have done, the time that you put in. You didn't have to, the truth of it is, you didn't have to. This was the harder path, but you chose that. I want to thank your families for supporting you. The fact that you're in this field tonight, we hear so many times about the black families and that we're not supported, that we're not there. But if you look around, this is what is keeping our community strong, you. And so I say thank you. But I hope that when you go home and you're able to hear from your sons or daughters, good night, Dad, thank you, that it reminds you of the awesome responsibility that you have and that you've chosen to take on. But while you're in that moment, reflecting on this small but great, significant achievement, that you remember how important it is, how big that little moment tonight is to your children. You have yourself, you have your partners, you have your children, you have your family. And no matter what the family looks like, no matter what anybody tells you, we all are family. And so I say thank you. It is a great, great honor to be here tonight. I look forward to being up here for the graduation. We brought certificates from City Council and just to show our small bit of gratitude for the work that you guys have done. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Harden. As a token of your appreciation, on behalf of the Columbus Urban League, on behalf of the African American Male Initiative Program, we appreciate you coming here tonight. We appreciate your dedication to not only the program, but all that you're doing and all that you're going to continue to do in our community. So we thank you. At this time, we want to introduce to you the first class representative for the Choose to Change. These individuals, there's two spokesmen for the one for Choose to Change, and the other one for the Father to Father program. We want to make sure we give Mr. Derek Foster, the program coordinator, the opportunity to introduce to us the class spokesman who was voted to give the remarks for this class. So, Mr. Foster.
Good evening. Could I have all the Choose to Change graduates make their way to the stage? All the Choose to Change graduates make their way to the stage, please. Have you ever seen this many well-dressed men in one room? And I guarantee you over half of them have never put on a suit. And look how good everybody looks. You know, we preach that a lot with my brother's cause. It's something that we established and getting people dressed up for these programs. And a lot of them, they really don't want to do it. That's one thing they argue about it a lot, man. But a lot of times when they put these suits on, they really see how good and professional they look. And that's something that we're really proud of. My name is Derek Foster. I'm the program coordinator for the Choose to Change program. I also like to acknowledge my counterpart. He actually just started in January. He's been a big help to me. Father to Father's always had two guys, so they said we finally need somebody to help Mr. Foster in this Choose to Change, and I'm telling you to help. Look at all them guys. I couldn't have handled that by myself. So I want to acknowledge Mr. Joey Green. He's probably running around doing something. Where he at? Mr. Joey Green. There he is over there in the pit. Mr. Joey Green, raise your hand. There he is. Let me just tell you a little bit about the Choose to Change program. The Choose to Change program helps ex-offenders become restored citizens and better individuals through supportive services that enable them to develop successful reentry strategies for self-improvement and change. We understand that these men come home every day ill-equipped, and our goal is to help eliminate some of the barriers that have kept these men from being productive citizens in their community. I have been fortunate enough to have been a part of this Choose to Change program for almost 3 years now. And one of the most rewarding things for me is when I can look over at these men and see where they were 10 weeks ago and where they are now. These men will not have completely changed in a 10-week program, but our goal is to put you in the right frame of mind to make a change. Change is very hard, especially when you've been doing something a certain way your entire life. But if you are willing to be committed, those sacrifices and different decisions that you make in your life will start to come easy to you. I would like to congratulate these men on their continued success in the near future. The word I want to leave them with tonight is no excuses. We hear them all the time. So many excuses. But if you are committed on this journey to change, there will be no excuses that stand in your way. So again, congratulations to these young men. And right now, I actually want to recognize one more person who's another co-facilitator counterpart for me. She works for Adult Parole Authority. She's a drug and alcohol counselor, Miss Anna Turner. Ray, you want to come help us pass out certificates, Miss Turner? And now we begin to call the guys up. We ain't gonna talk about them, so we're gonna roll through. We're just gonna let them go. I ain't gonna give y'all nothing about each one, so I could, but I'm not this time. First person is DeCarlo Anderson. Well, he's a handful, I'm telling you. Tracy Ayers. Charles Bennett. By the way, this is our largest graduating class since I've been here. So I think that's just a round of applause. Derek Boone. Make sure I get it right. That ain't the way you say my name. Queasy, Broomfield. Queasy. This is my guy right here, though, I'll tell you. This is my guy. Queasy. Harry Caldwell. Harry's going through some health issues, but he made it. Malik Chambers. D'Angelo Cummings. I have to say this. I have to. Most of our, 90% of our guys a lot of times are mandated to come here from the Adult Parole Authority. But we do have guys who come here on their own. And Cummings is one of them. He made it all the way through. Thank you, Miss China. She brought him in. She had an issue one day, and I think it was Staples or something. She intervened, and next thing you know, he was in the program. So that's what we do around here. Harry Duncan. Cameron Frazier. Dewan Hartley. Dewan was a handful. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He was a hand. I gotta say it. He was a handful, buddy. I'm telling you. He made it through, though. I tell you. Good job. Mac Jones. I told him he got the best first name in the land. Mac Jones. That's kind of true. Jermaine Kelly. Larry Lowry. Guy Mulberry. Michael Mendoza. Isaiah Moore. Another handful. Rayshawn King. It was a fight every day to get him to put his phone down. But he made it through, man. Good job, bro. This is the grandfather of the group right here. Leroy Robinson. Johnny Strickland. Michael Rowland. Keith Sullivan. DeAndre White. Another one will walk in. Ernest said that was a hot mess. Can we give this group another round of applause? We use, at the end of the class, we kind of vote on one person, the staff, to be a class representative. And actually, it was quite a few guys this time that we wanted to actually speak. But I think we end up deciding on one of these individuals. We have chosen one person to represent the class on the topic Choose to Change, and what that means to you. This young man is an exceptional person because his dedication and commitment to change started before he walked through our doors. I am proud to say that he is currently working a full-time job. Has mapped out his goals, and I do believe he is striving every day to make those goals complete. Right now, I want to bring up Mr. Michael Rowland.
Alright, I ain't gonna keep y'all. I ain't never done this before, so y'all, I might sweat a little bit. I got this rag on. Yeah. Alright, first off, I would like to thank all the staff from Urban League, giving us gentlemen a chance to participate in all the programs offered to us, which I may add are very resourceful programs. Which I would also like to thank all of the guest speakers, if they are here, for taking the time out of the day to give us more useful resources. From all of the class, we appreciate the time and patience you, Mr. Green, Mr. Foster, for giving us and for the past 10 weeks. Speaking for myself, I've been through a couple other programs, and by far, Urban League, hands down, shuts the rest of them down. There's definitely a good vibe there and a need and will do attitude from all the people in that building. I'm grateful to have been a part of this journey and for the opportunity to regain some stability for my life. There are so many people that can use this as a stepping stone, so my words to them will be, get on that train. Simple as that. But to sum up everything, not trying to keep everyone, for the rest of the evening, but the Urban League has definitely shown and guided me onto a more prosperous path. My name is Michael Rowland, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Now I want to bring up our Father to Father program coordinator, Mr. Mark Dolly. Real quick, guys, stay. Once they're finished, stay up here. We can take a group picture, and then you guys can leave. All right.
All right, good evening, everybody. Okay, I'm the Father to Father program coordinator. My name is Mark Godley. We got to do better than that. Good evening, everybody. All right. Give yourself a round of applause for being here. Before I begin, I want to thank my CEO, Ms. Stephanie Hightower, and Vice President, Ms. Tony Cunningham, and of course my director, Mr. Rayshawn Wilson, for allowing me to do the work that I love. Good evening. My name is Mark Godley. I am one of the program coordinators for the Father to Father program. I too would like to acknowledge the other program coordinator, Mr. Stefan Dunn. Before I begin, first giving honor to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who gives me the courage and strength to do the work that I do each day. To my father, Dr. Lewis Godley Sr., thank you for passing down the wisdom that you passed to me. To my loving wife of 22 years, China, she's in Vegas now. Thank you. Not to forget my children, Megan, honor student graduate of Kent State, daughter Brandy, honor student at the University of Cincinnati and graduate of Avita Harris Institute, who just blessed me with my first grandson, Leighton. Y'all can clap for that. I get excited about this daddy stuff, y'all. Son Miles, he's an honor student at Fort Hays High School, due to graduate this May with not only his high school diploma, but also an associate's degree from DeVry University. And finally, my daughter, Kennedy, my baby girl. The last time I was up here, I was crying my eyes out and sharing with you that she was struggling in school. So this nurturing father, parenting stuff, and I might cry, I'm gonna try not to, put me to the test. Well, and I was worried. And I told my wife, I said, what's going on? You know, because all my kids are honor students, so immediately I thought something bad. and talk to my dad, talk to my wife. You know, they say calm down because I'm overprotective, Dad. I'll go get mine for me. That's the way Dolly's are raised. So she said, calm down, we're going to get through this. And I shared with the group last year this time. So we did the other thing. So to get to the point, today she showed me her report card. And she has a 3.5. Me and her mother is going to the 33rd Annual Scholars Tea, sponsored by the Achieving Standards of Excellence Foundation and the AKA sorority. So to all of my family, thank you for letting the struggles and challenges of being a father worth every penny and every minute that is spent with you. It is truly priceless. To my fathers, who have just completed 10-week nurturing fathering program, we celebrate you. Can we give them a round of applause? Know that your parenting attitudes and skills have improved. After 8 years, I can say this now. You have now completed a program that has proven quantitative and qualitative success. The information you have received works. Use it. I do. Your children need you. Your community needs you. And yes, your country needs you to be a father, to provide leadership. I have a poem that I want to share with you that I saw on the wall at How Dominican is titled Leadership Through the Years. Immediately I thought of my father when I saw this poem, and I sent it to my siblings, and I want to share with you because I feel we are all family. And it says, to have vision, you have to be able to step back, step above time, and immediate circumstances. I think one of the elements of vision is a certain kind of objectivity. You have to be able to imagine what might be, and maybe a variety of might be's, but see one or the other as more attainable or more appropriate. And that's from Sister Mary Andrew, OP, PhD. And I think about my dad who always thought outside the box, and I still don't know how you did it, Dad. I'm working, trying to get my daddy license. So Dad, I thank you for deciding to lead. I thank you for you stepping back, for you stepping above your immediate circumstances. And you know, I'm gonna go there. You know, there was my pastor did this at church. And you know, every other time we talk about that hole that we've been in, I've been in myself. And when you're in this deep hole, you're looking up, my father said he jumped down in there. We're not gonna jump down in there this time, Daddy. He said, I jumped down there because I've been there. So the lamb's down there. This is us, y'all. We're in the hole. And everybody's throwing dirt on us. And how is that lamb going to live? So the lamb would shake it off, stomp his feet. Then everybody trying to throw dirt on that lamb, throw dirt, you ain't this, you ain't that. That lamb would shake it off, stomp his feet. Next one I want y'all to do it with me. So now, we're going up, maybe hard to see our children, all this dirt, all the circumstances, the bill, everybody, let's shake it off and stamp your feet. I'm gonna do that again, everybody. Shake it off and stamp your feet. Yes, yes. But that's what our fathers are doing, and we really want to thank them. Remember, choosing to find a way. Remember, God has created us to endure, to overcome and succeed. That's the way we're built, okay? Remember our closing circle. Now, since all the violence last year, our CEO, Ms. Hightower, the NFL called her, we now pledge openly. We don't make them, we ask our fathers to get in a circle. And we ask them, are you openly against violence towards our children, your intimate partners, and mothers of our children? So we close with that circle. Can we give these guys a round of applause for that? So keep that commitment, guys. And, you know, hey, that's what daddies do. So thank you. The pleasure has been mine. And Mr. Dunn. Mr. Lewis Baker. Now, I'm not Derek. I'm going to get through this. It's hard because all these fathers have a story. So I'm not going to say something my director said. We're going to push this through too. So all these guys have amazing stories. Please talk to them after we get a chance. Isaiah Baker. Stefan Barker. Demetrius Bynum. Henry Clayton. Rakeem Crawley. James Coleman. Christian Foster. Abdul Ntumwe. Devontae Martin. Devin Speaks. This man was on Maury Povich right here, guys. He is a celebrity, that's true story. Mr. Brandon Studd. Rayshawn Woodley. Eddie Carson. Chris Tatum. Waco Walker. Robert Walker. Chris Washington. And last but not least, Jeffrey Willis. We're real proud of our fathers here at the Columbus Urban League. A couple things, Moms, Ohio State, this program's reaching out to us. And we had a father who's a graduate. These men are serious. And we had a father, we was over at the neighborhood house, and when our fathers didn't have to get asked to, he was a graduate of the Father and Father program. He was supporting the mom through her pregnancy, and we're going to be doing some things with him. We were just asked by the Compass program downtown at the courts to participate. Our participant successfully completed this program. It just started. So can we celebrate these men one more time? Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Rayshawn. We're going to introduce our class speaker. We were approached, and I'm from a military family as well, and we were approached by there's a Lincoln Parade because African Americans have defended this country. And our three fathers who served in the military are going to get an award at the parade, the Lincoln Memorial Day Parade coming down Mount Vernon. Our class speaker is also a veteran. Can we welcome Mr. Bryant Butler? Okay, Bryant couldn't be here with us today. That is it. Next we go to our program director, Mr. Rayshawn Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Dolly, and for your hard work. Before we move forward and have give any closing remarks, since the class speaker was not here, if there is anyone from the Father to Father program that would like to come up and give a very brief, any remarks, so that, thank you, appreciate that. Talk about your plan, thank you. It takes a lot of courage sometimes to get up unannounced, to be able to give some remarks, so I appreciate that.
Let me see my guy a message. He got a message already typed up. I ain't got no message typed up. I just found out 5 seconds ago I was coming up here to talk. I don't know, I can just take my experience. I'm from Indianapolis. I drove over every Tuesday to come to this class. It's just a knowledge, just learning something, how you deal with this, what I'm dealing with, how you talk to these type of people, and the stuff you learn, seeing people's situations that they went through. Everybody, you know, behind the 8 ball, but we all fighting every day. We all came in, and you know how you feeling. I feel like a 10. I might owe this and that, and got all these type of problems. I'm 10, so this is how we did every day, or every Tuesday. That's about it. Y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you very much for those brief words and filling in for your fellow classmates. That's what we got. That's what we do. That's what these gentlemen have done for the past 10 weeks. They've uplifted each other. They've held each other accountable for the past 10 weeks and made sure that folks have got through, which is very important. As we close, I want to make sure that we give some folks acknowledgement, especially to our funders and our partners. United Way of Central Ohio, the City of Columbus. Want to acknowledge some very special partners that have been with the African American Male Initiative Program ever since its inception. Child Support, Franklin County Child Support, Ohio Commission on Fatherhood, we appreciate you guys. Of course, the Adult Parole Authority and DRC and that partnership, Franklin County Probation, Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services. We appreciate each and every one of you. Without your work and without your support and your resources, we would not be able to do the work that we do. We would not be able to have the impact on the thousands of lives that come through our doors each and every day. And so we appreciate each one of you. We also want to take time to appreciate My Brother's Closet, who was ran by Miss Alex, who I don't see here in the audience today. If you have not had the opportunity to come by the Columbus Urban League and look at our My Brother's Closet, it's evidence right here in with regards to how these young men look. And they have on some sharp suits. Some of y'all will not grow out of it, just pass it on down to me. Again, we want to thank, and also want to take the time too to thank my team, who are all my staff members of the African American Male Initiative Program. Please stand and raise your hand. Stand up. I appreciate the work that you guys do every single day. You guys are on the front lines doing a lot of the grunt work, and I appreciate you guys. My staff back there also, they're participants that are not a part of the graduation, but our nonviolent program, our gang intervention program with our APS workers. These guys are on call, and this young lady are on call sometimes 24 hours a day out in the communities in some of the roughest parts of the community, trying to prevent gang retaliation, which continues to be a huge problem in our communities. And so special shout out to those individuals for the hard work that you guys do. And as I close, before we let into one go, I want to remind both groups, both the Choose to Change and the Father, I lost my connection a little bit, and the Father participants to make sure that you stay put. We're going to take our group photos, and then after that, you guys can be dismissed. Thank you very much for your participation. You can learn more about the African American Male Initiative Program, as well as all of the other services that we provide at the Columbus Urban League by visiting our website. Again, thank you to everyone, especially to the families. We appreciate your support. Participate, sticking by these young men as they went through these 10 weeks. So thank you for coming out. God bless you guys. Good night.